Dirtle Magic. Thank you for tuning in to Dirtle Magic. Please subscribe and hit that notification bell if you like the content you see here today, and leave a like and share the video with someone you might think is interested. Leaving those likes really helps us out, but another way to help us out is by using our TCG Player affiliate link below. If you're looking for singles, sealed product, or gaming accessories, please consider using our link to support the channel. We also have some playmats at inkgaming.com. Go ahead and hit the link in the description to check those out. Alright, let's grab some spells and dirtle with some magic. Hello and welcome back to Dirtle Magic. Today we're playing some more Feather the Redeemed. Looking at our opening hand, we do have a bunch of stuff to play, just not a third land, and it doesn't look like we have a way to draw it. So, do we want to keep this one? I don't think we do. Let's go ahead and mulligan. New hand, we do have some stuff we can do here, plus a bunch of draw. No protection for Feather, but hopefully we can get into it. Let's go ahead and keep the hand. Do have a new card in the deck, Lorehold Campus, just to get some extra color fixing in there. Took out Core Haven, it just really wasn't working for the deck, and I'd rather have something to scry. Our first opponent with a World Tree into play is Ramos Dragon Engine. Costs 6 for a legendary 4/4 Artifact Creature Dragon. Flying, whenever you cast a spell, put 1/1 counter on Ramos Dragon Engine for each of that spell's colors. Remove 5 1/1 counters from Ramos, add white white blue blue black black red red green green. Activate this ability only once each turn. We draw a card, it's Mother of Runes, that'll be good. Let's get down to Lorehold Campus. It comes into play tapped, and we'll pass it off to our opponents. Our commander, red white white for legendary 3/4 Angel. Flying, whenever you cast an instant sorcery spell that targets a creature you control, exile that card instead of putting it into your graveyard as it resolves. If you do, return it to your hand at the beginning of the next end step. Over to our second opponent, who happens to be Aegar, the Freezing Flame. Fabled Passage into play for them and cracked. Aegar, the Freezing Flame, 1 blue red for legendary 3/3 Giant Wizard. Whenever a creature or planeswalker an opponent controls is dealt excess damage, if a Giant Wizard or spell you control dealt damage to it this turn, draw a card. Over to our last opponent, who is a partner pairing of Vial Smasher the Fierce and Akroma Vision of Ishiador, I think. 5 white white for legendary 6/6 Angel. Flying, first strike, Vigilance Trample. At the beginning of each combat, until end of turn, each other creature you control gets 1/1 if it has flying, 1/1 if it has first strike, and so on for double strike, death touch, haste, hexproof, indestructible, lifelink, menace, protection, reach, trample, vigilance, and partner. It itself has partner. They have a Fed Heath come into play. Their second commander, Vial Smasher the Fierce, 1 black red for legendary 2/3 Goblin Berserker. Whenever you cast your first spell each turn, choose an opponent at random. This deals damage equal to that spell's CMC to the player or planeswalker that player controls. Partner. It's now mana value. You'll see that errated on a lot of the cards now. Over to Ramos Dragon Engine. We have Ketria Triome into play for the Ramos player. I do want to apologize for all the messages down here on the bottom right. I unfortunately logged into another game and it didn't have Feather up and going. It had Neath of the Dire Hunt, and I'm currently playing 2 games, so this should be an interesting challenge. Comes to our turn, we get Path to Exile. Let's go ahead and play Plains and get down Mother of Runes for that extra protection. Keep up white for Path to Exile in case we really need it. I don't think we will, but with Mother of Runes on the battlefield, we'll have protection for Feather, so that's always nice. Talisman of Creativity for Aegar after a land to the battlefield. On the partner player's turn, looks like it's just a land into play. That works for me. Akroma can be very scary. Don't know why it's paired with Vial Smasher, but there are a lot of good aggressive creatures in those colors, so why not? Over to Ramos, that's a Forest into play. Let's see what they're going to do with the turn. They will be ramping. That's good. 5-card decks need 5 colors after all. I do like Ramos in that it's not like too much of good stuff. You kind of want to run a lot of gold cards. So it's one of my more favorite 5-color commanders. Okay, so what do we have into play here? It is an Endatha Triome. Alright. Comes to our turn, we get Gutter Snipe. That could be good layer. It's only the really burn spell thing I have in the deck. I didn't really want to include the others, but it has come through in a few pinches. Let's play a Mountain and get down Feather. Feather to the stack. And we'll pass it off there. Leave up Mother of Runes for that desperately needed protection on Feather. My apologies, I forgot to hide the chat. Turian Maul are coming down for Aegar. That's going to be a giant. It has Changeling. To the partner player's turn, we have a Mountain coming into play, getting tapped for some mana. Let's see what they're doing. Vial Smasher the Fierce coming down. Turian Maul will trigger for the first time this game, and we will yield to that trigger. It's going to get pretty big. Path to Exile is probably something we're going to use pretty quick. Over to Ramos' turn. Let's see what they're going to be up to. They almost have all 5 colors. Ramos does cost 6, however, so they do need 2 more lands to summon Ramos. 7 cards in hand, though, so they're set up to do whatever they need to, I wager. Sultai Charm. Choose 1. What is it going to be? Draw 2 cards, then discard a card. Too bad they're not destroying the Mauler. Oh well. That's it for Ramos. It's going to roll over back to us. Looks like we can start setting up on some stuff. Gotta worry about that Turian Mauler, though. Still thinking Path to Exile after a Gutter Snipe, perhaps. Then we start rolling with the card draw and see what we can get. Conversely, we could do Bearing Prophet first, lay down a land, do Path to Exile, and save mana for Expedite. Now that I said that out loud, I think that might be the better option. We get Alpine Meadow to our hand, though. That's nice, more color fixing. Let's play the Burning Prophet. Turian Mauler will trigger again. And then let's get rid of the Turian Mauler with Path to Exile. We get to scry. That's always good. Let's see what's on top. We have a Swan Song. That's unfortunate. We get a bird token. We still get to scry, though, so that's nice. Clarion Spirit. Actually, let's keep that on top. I've been wanting to try that in this deck forever. Let's go ahead and play a Mountain. And then let's play Expedite on Feather, I suppose. We have a number of triggers. We'll get to scry again. We'll probably just keep the Clarion Spirit on top. And we will do so. We draw the Clarion Spirit. Let's go to combat. Swing Feather off into... let's start just going around the table. Start on the left side, go against the Giants. And then we'll go off into the partner player and then into Ramos. Probably have one more turn to get to Ramos, so I think we'll be okay. If it switches up, we'll just attack Ramos first. Damage is good. The Aegar player down to 37, up to 3 commander damage. And we'll pass it off there. Aegar's turn, we have a Steam Vents into play. It comes into play tapped. Aegar, the Freezing Flame coming down for that player. Oh no, that Turian Mauler's going to hit like a truck. Oh, and it just does excess damage over. However, I do believe it needs Trample to do that if I am remembering correctly. No attacks out of Aegar, that's interesting, but I can live with that. To the partner player's turn, tapping down some mana. Let's see what they're going to do with it. Oh, they play Smothering Tithe. That'll get them to Akroma pretty quick. Let's see where that 4 damage goes. It went off into Ramos. They are down to 36. Just a land into play for Ramos this turn. That's unfortunate. On the bright side, they still have most of the cards they need, and their commander itself is colorless for the casting cost, so they can still get it down. Our turn sees us get Invigorated Rampage. That could be good. We'll not pay 2 for the Smothering Tithe. You probably won't ever. Let's just yield to it. Let's play the Alpine Meadow. Let's get down the Clarence Spirit. I think that'll be a good idea. Turian Mauler will get even larger. And then let's go ahead and cast the Fists of Flame. We'll cast it on Feather. I don't think Clarence Spirit counts itself since it's not on the battlefield to see it. Oh, it does, so we will get a Spirit out of that. That's pretty nice. We get to scry. It's a Plains. Let's keep it on top. I feel like we're going to need a little bit more mana here to get going. Spirit token into play. We draw the Plains. We will not pay for the Tithe. Let's go to attacks. Probably just going to swing it over into Ramos's face, although Vial Smasher looks like they're going to get Akroma up pretty soon, so I think we're going to go with the original plan and swing at the partner player. Damage is good. Partner player down to 35, up to 5 commander damage. Let's pass it off. Over to Aegar's turn. They drop a mountain. It looks like they're going straight to the combat step. Let's see if they attack anywhere with that 10-10. Again, I do believe it still needs Trample to do anything effectively. Turn war coming at us. Aegar going off into the partner player. Let's go ahead and intercept. I still believe it doesn't need Trample, but I guess we're going to find out. Alright, so excess damage was dealt. Aegar player gets to draw a card. Damage is good against the partner player. They're down to 32. The Aegar player did get to draw a card. Battle of Frost and Fire coming down for the Aegar player. Enters the battlefield, 4 damage to each non-giant creature and each planeswalker. That is unfortunate. I figured it had to be a board wipe. Let's respond by giving Feather Pro Red. Feather has protection from the Wrath. It also hits planeswalkers, which is something I really enjoy. The rest of our creatures unfortunately go down. I never get to use that Clarence Spirit for anything. Over to the partner player's turn. Vial Smasher is back in the command zone after that board wipe. Command Tower into play. They do have enough mana to summon Akroma as well, and it will be big enough to dodge a similar kind of board wipe in the future. Partner player sacrificing a lot of treasures. It is Akroma Vision of Sheodor. Turian Mauler will trigger again. That's unfortunate. We have Vampire Nighthawk coming down. It will get 3/3 from Akroma. Oof. At the beginning of combat, Akroma will trigger, giving 1/1 for each keyword ability on creatures, except for herself. Luckily, they don't have haste. At end of turn, we have Sylvan Reclamation, basic land cycling out of Ramos. I do love this cycle of cards. I hope they do an enemy-colored cycle at some point. Was kind of hoping to see that in the Strixhaven Commander decks, but we did get a lot of goodies, so not going to complain too much. But I am going to complain a little bit. Let's see what land they got. It's an island. Ramos' turn proper. Tapping all the mana. I assume it's going to be Ramos. It is Ramos the Dragon Engine. Turn Mauler, again, it'll trigger. It's way too big. We will yield to the Akroma trigger. I don't think there's going to be anything we can do about that. That's it for Ramos. Going to roll over to us. Let's see if we can get some extra protection for Feather. We do have a couple ways to draw some cards, so hopefully that will be good for us. Comes our turn, we get a mountain. Not terribly helpful. Let's play the plains. And let's go ahead and play Expedite. We'll target Feather, of course. We draw Ephemerate. Could be a good way to protect Feather. So what do we want to do otherwise? We could play Fist of Flame, draw some more cards. That would take 2 mana, and then we have 3 mana left over. Could get down Gutter Snipe 2. I think at this point though, we're going to do the Fist of Flames. Draw some more cards because we do need to fill our hand back up. We get Talisman of Conviction. Yeah, let's go ahead and play it. I think that should be okay. And we'll pass it off there, leaving up the mana to use Ephemerate. To the first main phase on Aegar's turn, they get to scry 3 thanks to their Saga. To the rest of Aegar's turn, we have an island into play. We have Stink Drinker Daredevil coming down for the Aegar player. Giant spells cost you 2 less to cast, 1/3. We have an attack turn Mauler off into us. That's unfortunate. They do have possibly counter magic up, so don't want to take 16 though. So we are going to block and we are going to attempt to blink Feather out of the way. Alright, here's the attempt. Let's see if they have counter magic. Doesn't look like they do, not yet. They do still have an opportunity to use it though. It looks like they do not have counter magic. We choose the replacement effect to apply and we apply Feathers. We take no damage and Feather survives. Fantastic. Notably though, if the Turian Mauler had trample and we blinked her in and out, it would trample over because it'd be 0 damage dealt and the excess damage would be dealt to us, so just keep that in mind if you're going to blink stuff. To the partner player's turn, we have Vial Smasher the Fierce coming back to the battlefield. We also have a Pilgrim's Eye. Pilgrim's Eye enters the battlefield, they'll go search their library for a basic land card and reveal it. It's a Plains. Okay, Akroma and Vial Smasher player on the attack. They're sending at least Akroma off into Aegar so far. Could be the Vampire Nighthawk, but it's really good for defense. Yep, just Akroma. Nobody wants to be taking that Turian Mauler. Damage is good. Aegar down to 31, up to 6 commander damage from Akroma. Over to Ramos, who has largely been completely left alone this game, more or less. I do worry about that because Ramos can be a pretty decent casual deck, especially once it gets going. I'm just glad Ramos cost 6 to drop in the first place. But their lands do tap for any color mana that they need. They do have 6 mana currently available to them, could drop another land, and, I don't know, cast a 5 color spell and then immediately get 10 mana. Could be pretty bad. We have Maelstrom Nexus. Okay, well, there you go. Maelstrom Nexus, in case you're unfamiliar, is Wooburg for an enchantment that says, the first spell you cast each turn has Cascade. This is the first spell they cast this turn, so it won't matter this turn. Well, if they have an instant they can pull the mana off of Ramos later, that could be pretty bad. Looks like we have a response out of the partner player. Let's see what it is. Possibly Artifact Destruction. Ramos is more susceptible to removal that way. Wear and Tear. Nice. So let's see. Are they doing both? They are. The enchantment being destroyed is going to be over here. The Saga Battle Frost and Fire. Oh, Ramos just straight quits the game. That sucks. I wanted to see what was going to happen with them. Alright, well, good game, I suppose. Too bad it took him so long to get set up. Ramos can be a little slow that way. Vial Smasher will trigger. Let's see where things are going to go. Aegar takes the damage from Vial Smasher. Wear and Tear will destroy the enchantment it's still targeting. Comes our turn, we get Command Tower. Let's go ahead and play it. Having red or white at our disposal is always better in Feather. And I think this turn we're going to get down the Gutter Snipe. Hopefully it won't get removed. And lifelink over on the partner player side is problematic. But we also need to draw more stuff, so why not damage our opponents and get closer to victory while doing it? Alright, same verse like last time. Expedite, let's go to Feather. a number of triggers. Let's go ahead and stack out. Gutter Snipe will trigger for the first time this game, 2 damage to each of our opponents. We get Chandra's Ignition. That could be pretty good. Not so much against the Turian Mauler, unfortunately. But if we could get rid of Akroma at some point with Invigorated Rampage and protect our Gutter Snipe somehow, because Ephemerate won't do it, it comes right back into play. Could be good later, though. Gonna have to keep an eye out for an opportunity. Let's play the Fist of Flame, get some more card draw, get some more burn. All the good things. Dagger Hedge Mage. Not too useful at the moment, but getting rid of Smothering Tithe could be very good. He's also a nice blink target. Alright. So, do we want to go to combat? I think not. I think we'll leave our defenses up. Akroma and Vial Smasher can take care of the giant player if they really want to. I think we'll leave them to that. Over to Aegar's turn. They do pay for the Smothering Tithe this time. Repercussions. Oh, that is not good. Although, if we can survive whatever's about to happen, we can use that to win the game with Chandra's Ignition. Opportunity. We have an attack Turian Mauler against us again. That Death Touch really keeping them off the partner player. Sad face. Okay, let's go ahead and block with Feather and try to Ephemerate again. And we have some triggers. Let's see if they have counter magic. I'd be interested in knowing too if we can bait it out so we don't get countered on Chandra's Ignition. Could be our saving grace. We have Deflecting Swat. Yep, there it is. So, not a counter spell, but a free spell, and that's always a little annoying. I wonder where they're going to deflect it. I don't particularly care if Feather dies. We could always just boost the Gutter Snipe as a last-ditch effort. We could also resummon Feather, but it's going to be a bit. Alright, let's see where Ephemerate's going this time. It'll be Gutter Snipe. Okay. I guess at this point, let's go ahead and play the Expedite on Feather just to get that extra card draw. And there are some more triggers. More damage to our opponents. Hopefully we'll be able to survive the turn. And again, unfortunately Feather will be dead. But Fist of Flame on top of Expedite on top of Invigorated Rampage to Chandra's Ignition could be good if Repercussion stands out. We'll have to see how things stack out now though. We get Acrobatic Maneuver. Oh, it's too bad we don't have mana for that right now. We will not pay 2 for the type. And we would choose the replacement effect to apply. We'll return to a hand with Feather. Unfortunately, our commander, who has fought the good fight, will go down to a giant oozing bowl. We'll return Feather to the command zone. Looks like we have... It's faded, so I can't see. 26 plus 3 damage. And they'll get a draw card. Least of our problems, though, unless it's counter magic. So I imagine we could be taking 29 damage here, which is not the best. Oh, my mistake. I forgot we did deal 3 damage to the Turian Mauler. They go down to 17. Damage good against them, too. We go down to 14. Ow. Okay, it looks like they paid for the other Smothering Tithe trigger, so that's fine. Not too many counter spells at 1 that are good. Force Spike, perhaps. Also Mana Tithe, if you're into that. But they already played their Swan Song, so I'm not too worried about it anymore. They could still be using Fierce Guardianship if they have Deflecting Swat. And that doesn't bode very well. I'm hoping the partner player can put some pressure on them without killing them because we need that Repercussions. Over to the partner player. 5 cards in hand after the draw. 24 life left. 5 commander damage. We're at 14 like I said before. 17 for the Aegar player. 6 commander damage from Akroma. Hopefully they can get them down. I'm hoping the Aegar player won't quit in response to our Chandra's Ignition. That would be really, really bad. You know, assuming they survive and we can use Repercussions. Stensia Masquerade. What does this do? Attacking creatures you control first strike. Whenever a vampire you control deals combat damage to the player, put a 1/1 counter on it and Madness. We do have 1 vampire on the battlefield. Vial Smasher triggers. Let's see where it goes. Goes over to the Aegar player. You know, I think they've been hit almost every time except once against Ramos. We are pretty lucky in that regard. Oh, we have some mana tapping over on Aegar's side. Are they just tapping it down for reasons? Looks like they are. They are tapped down. No counter magic. That works for me. We have Vindicate. Where's it going? Oh, it's going against the Turian Mauler. Okay. That I can live with. Vindicate, destroy target permanent, sorcery speed, but still a good card. 2 combat Akroma triggers. They could potentially kill the Aegar player with their flyers. But they are down to 2 cards in hand. We could eke out a victory over a slow grind here, and it's already been kinda slow. Alright, let's see where everything's going. To be fair, they could also kill us, which is not the best. Oh, my mistake. The Vampire Nighthawk will be a 6/5. It will get a 1/1 counter from the Stensia Masquerade, I believe it's called. And they'd be at 1. Let's see where things are going. Oh, all onto us. Sad face. We can't block. Let's hope we survive and they have nothing else to play this turn. We are down to 1. Okay, the vampire will get a 1/1 counter. Hoping they can't do that last damage. Alright, looks like it's rolling over to us. Let's hope that Aegar doesn't have the Fierce Guardianship and there's not a random Rakdos charm coming out of the partner player. There's a lot that can go wrong here, but so much glory if it goes right. Let's go ahead and play a mountain. Looks like we're going to need a lot of red to pull this off. And then let's make sure we tap colorless and not kill ourselves off the talisman. I do want to use it up though. And then we'll play Invigorated Rampage, +4/+0, trample, on our Gar Snipe. Let's see if there's any responses. I'm hoping there isn't. Gar Snipe will trigger. Alright, I think 6 will be enough. We do have mana to play one more thing. Let's go ahead and play Expedite. We will not pay for the Tithe trigger. And now I feel a little bit better about it. Let's go ahead and try Chandra's Ignition and see what happens. And we have a trigger. Let's see if this does it for us. Oh, the suspense. Oh, we have Floss Maneuver. That creature's gaining indestructible. Vial Smash their fierce triggers. Let's see if we die to the Smash trigger. Oh, please don't do it. Please don't do it. Oh, Vial Smasher got us. Damn. Alright, good game to our opponents. I mean, it had to be something, right? That's unfortunate. Let's go ahead and keep watch. Over to Aegar's turn. Let's see if they can somehow pull out the victory. The repercussions is still on the battlefield. They would need a fairly large creature to get things done now with haste, and Turian Mauler has been destroyed. Man, free spells thwarting our plans. Not much we can do about it. I don't mind the free spells all that much, except Fierce Guardianship. It had to be a counter spell for blue, though, really. It couldn't have been a bounce spell, maybe? Rite of Replication coming down for Aegar. Okay. So what are they copying? Looks like Vampire Nighthawk. Yeah, Lifelink will be great for him. So it is kicked. They do get 5 copies. Oh, Path to Exile. Are they targeting their own thing? They are. Nicely played. Plus they'll gain some life. Oh, and the Aegar player gives it up. Good game to our opponents. Man, that was tense. I enjoy when it comes to a tense conclusion like that. It's just so exciting. I wish we hadn't lost to a random effect, but that kind of also makes it more exciting, and I am a red mage, so what can you do? I am going to give it to the partner player. I enjoyed seeing that deck and what was happening behind it. And there it is, 2 points off into the winner, 3 to us. I appreciate that. Computers or opponents otherwise. Let's go ahead and take a look at the deck and explain some of the changes I made since the last game. Okay, here is the deck. Not too many changes from the last game. Feather is one of those commanders where it's mostly built the same way. She's either very much a spell slinger, almost kind of token go wide build, value build, kind of like what we're doing here. At least if we can get some token generators going. Or she's kind of like Equipper Protector with magic Tron build. And while I love Tron, I don't have fond memories of Feathertron, not because it would beat me or anything, but because I couldn't play my Feather deck at my local shops because everybody would kill it thinking it's Tron, so I just don't like it for that reason. Personal bias. Anyway, Strixhaven has come out on Magic Online, so I add a few cards from there. Unfortunately, I can't get my hands on any of the rares yet. There's no limited play lobby at the time of this recording that I'm aware of. I did check before the game to maybe get some regular booster packs. You can buy, was it the toolkit or whatever, for $5 on Magic Online to get a bunch of uncommons and commons. And of course all the lands, I love the R on the lands. So I did get some of that. As you can see at the top here, I got some Strixhaven stuff. Other than that, from that set, I included Stormkiln Artist. It gets 1/0 for each artifact we control, but the real kicker here is Magecraft, so I guess it's not kicker. Whenever you cast a copy of an instant sorcery spell, create a treasure token. This will help us greatly on mana. It itself can get larger with the artifacts, and we do have a few artifacts in the deck, but it's really there for those treasure tokens. Another card I add, because we have so much artifact enchantment removal we need to do, although I did add some other stuff too, I'll go over in a minute. Rip Apart is new from the set. It is sorcery speed, but it can dome a planeswalker or get rid of a small utility creature, plus it can destroy artifact or enchantment. I did watch the the Command Zone episode, where they didn't like it because it was sorcery speed. I'm fine with this being sorcery speed. Yes, instant will of course be better, but it can potentially get rid of 4 very unwanted things for 2 mana. I mean, it's no Utter End, it's no Anguished Unmaking, but this is pretty good. I recommend running it if you don't have, you know, hell, I recommend running it. Let's just put it that way. Other than that, I did add 2 of the elementals from Lorwyn, one of them being the Ingot Chewer. For red, we can evoke it to destroy an artifact, and because Feather likes to have a lower curve, especially to make more efficient mana plays, I figure evoke plus a blink. For red and white, you get rid of an artifact. So, not as good as Rip Apart, but you can also blink it later to keep destroying artifacts. Likewise, I added Wistmare. This one does enchantments. It's also a flyer, which isn't terrible because it can block flyers for you, and you can evoke it for just white. So again, for white, you can destroy an enchantment, and you can get it back to destroy even more enchantments. One other card I would add to this deck from Strixhaven, at least at the very beginning, because I haven't had an opportunity to, like, you know, boil it all up in my head and see what's happening here and brew stuff, is Mavinda, Student's Advocate. It's a legendary creature, costs 3, it's a 2/3 for flying, but for 0, you can cast an instant sorcery spell from your graveyard this turn. If that spell doesn't target a creature you control, it costs 8 more to cast, but since we're using Feather, we're usually targeting our own things. If that spell to be put into your graveyard, exile it instead, activate it only once each turn. We still pay the spell's cost. However, with Feather's replacement effect, we just send it off into exile and get it back at the end of turn. So if you are still playing Feather and you're playing more of this like janky Spellslinger build, definitely pick up a Mavinda if you can. I really recommend it. I don't know how expensive she's going to be because white usually doesn't do spell recursion, so this is definitely something new in white's color pie. I would get it just to have it at this point. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this series for Feather. Of course, if you want to check out the deck tech, I'll be posting that the day after this video comes up, maybe a day after that. Life has been a little hectic, so give me some time here. I will also put some of the Strixhaven stuff up at the end of that video that I think will work well with Feather. If you saw any cards that you want to purchase for yourself, Strixhaven's just around the corner. Pre-release is happening. Release will be happening next weekend. Please consider using the TCG Player affiliate link in the description below. It doesn't cost you anything extra and it helps support the channel. Okay, after Feather, we're going on to Strixhaven. Really looking forward to that. There's a lot of cool stuff in Strixhaven. Some stuff I like better than others. Simic, still Simic. But, you know, I know there's fans of Simic out there, so not to rag on anybody. Simic bores me personally. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the series. Stay safe out there, and I'll see you around.